Hello everybody, welcome back to the frequency you need. My name's ARIEL Rachel and I help people raise their frequency. Today we're going to talk about the ego, why it's important to understand and identify what the ego does and how it affects us. The ego is a combination of voices that as a child we take on from others to perceive our reality. Our ego is responsible for creating problems, identifying our surroundings by judging. What are some examples? It's too hot. It's too cold. Why did she get picked for the chore and not me? Am I not good enough? Why are they chosen and not me? Ego is responsible for our protection. Have you ever been with a friend? You're walking. It's a pretty sunny day outside. Your friend says something like, it's so hot outside. You have two options. If you say yes, all of a sudden, you take on their perception, right? You take on their ego identification. So what you weren't once thinking before is now a part of your reality. And you're like, wow, yeah, it is really hot. It's hot. It's so hot. And now you're sweating and you weren't a second ago. But we have a choice to either accept someone else's identification or just let them say their statements. See, if you don't feed it, it can't exist. But see, we're programmed to think that we need to answer, right? Someone's complaining or stating or saying something, we are automatically triggered to respond. Have you ever gone through your day to just listen to what people are saying without judgment? Without judgment. I remember for me in my journey, I was taught to judge at a very young age. I judged. And then I got into the works of Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now. And I'll never forget, I was in the Salt Lake City airport and I was like, I'm going to flip this script and I am not going to judge anybody. Every time my ego program mind wants to judge, I am going to counteract with a love response. So if someone was walking by and I wanted to judge, I said, I love them. Wow, they're amazing. I'll find something about them that I love. But you see, we're so programmed to judge because our TV shows, our music, our everything from a young age, our families, that's all they've ever known. That's all we've really ever known. But see, when you stop judging others and you stop being controlled by your ego, then you're free. You can't get rid of your ego. Your ego is a part of you. You can put it in the back seat and you can work with it. It can rear its head out when it needs to. If you put your ego in the back seat, it'll only come out when it feels like energy is not being reciprocated. It'll come out when you need it to. It's there to show you. But it's also a matter of training your mind and your ego to work together, to break down those constructs. It's not really you. It's not the opinionated, need to speak my mind, need to make a statement version of you. That is your ego. Every time you debate, the ego remembers things. The ego throws things in people's faces. Oh, well, you did this to me. It takes tallies. That's what the ego does. The ego constantly puts you in a victim mentality. Now, what if you could work with your ego? Think about it. What's really happening in this situation? Am I really being attacked? What are they really saying? How we perceive is very, very important. I remember working in the industry that I was in. I remember being on set and one of our bosses asked us to do something differently. We had done something, it wasn't the right way, and calmly came over and asked us to do it. I'll never forget my other coworkers behind, closed doors were like, yeah, well, we keep getting yelled at for everything. When the truth of the matter was, no one yelled at us. No one put us in a corner and started hurting us. We were simply asked to do something differently, and so our egos were hurt because we felt criticized for our work. No one likes to be criticized, right? Nobody likes to be told that they're doing things wrong. If we could just step back for a second and truly understand to not take it personally, that this wasn't an attack, that things need to be done the right way, and that they're just doing their jobs so we can do our jobs, then there would have been no tension. But the ego, it likes to constantly create tension. You can tell who suffers from the ego because they're constantly judging, identifying their surroundings, always the victim, nothing's ever good enough, always has something to say. They're so fixated on how things should be instead of being. How the ego can drive us and shape us and mold us into situations. I was so run by my ego that I would perceive in such a way that I was constantly fighting with somebody, constantly taking things the wrong way, constantly feeling like I was under attack. And I really, really wasn't. But I was perceiving in such a way. Now, I also want to explain something else that the ego is also a part of, and that's childhood trauma. So we build up these walls, we build up these defenses and programs to kind of keep ourselves protected. That's another reason why the ego can roar its head, because our egos are also defense mechanisms, right? We need them to defend ourselves from people. We gotta be tough, we can't show emotion, we have to show that we're strong. Always proving ourselves, have to be liked by everybody. Vain, vanity, self-absorbed, narcissistic. These are ego-driven people. The root of the problem isn't that they love themselves so much. They are in fact the most insecure people that there are these people. Because they let others constantly define them because they are constantly defining other people and surroundings. People who do that are some of the most insecure people there are. So if you really look at the root of people who act like this, try and be a little kinder, because inside they really are hurting. And inside they're not really aware of what they do. Eckhart Tolle calls these people unconscious, for they know not what they do. Because if they did, there wouldn't be a fight. There'd be more peace with this person. But it's their job, not yours, to wake up themselves and to find that inner truth within and to really see for themselves why it is they constantly fight with people. I remember I was with a therapist and I was like, why do I keep attracting the same people? Why do I keep dealing with these same types of people? And she said, you're in this triangle. You're stuck in this pattern, this ego pattern. You're either, she drew out a triangle, the victim, the perpetrator, or the savior. You're either saving people, throwing people under the bus, or you're the victim. This pattern of behavior that so many of us have been stuck in or are currently stuck in, it's real. It's about breaking that pattern. We don't always have to save everybody. We don't always have to, screw people over. We don't to be liked by others. Things aren't happening to us on purpose. No one is solely trying to F you over. They too are trying to defend themselves. See, this mentality, this ego makes us believe that they are, that they are trying to hurt us. Things happen in life. How you deal with them is up to you. How you perceive is up to you. What you want to perceive will happen to you. If you believe that everything is a scam and that people are trying to screw you over, guess what? You are going to get more of that. Because your belief is so strong that you are going to experience that because you are calling that in. You are hyper-focused on it, and so our thoughts become our reality, and you get what you think about. Whatever you obsessively think about is what you are going to receive. Now, if you can flip that script and see good and not think everyone's trying to screw you over, you're going to get more trust. You're going to get more light. You're going to get more love. How you treat others is literally what you're going to receive. You're going to receive whatever you give out. There is this book by Thich Nhat Hanh, and it's called How to Love. And one of the pages in it says, treat your lover, your friend, and every stranger as if they were your house guest, and marvel at what you receive back. There's no separation, none. We are all one. But this illusion, this ego, creates separation. This illusion that we're different, that one's better than the other, that there's this hierarchy. There's no such thing. No one is better than the other, and no one has more power than the other, because we are all source energy. We all have gifts. We all have innate abilities, wisdom, timeless wisdom. It's about looking within, because guess what? You can search for all the answers out there. All of them. But you hold all the answers within you. All the answers are in here. Knowing that you are indeed more than this construct of ego, that you're an infinite being filled of love and light, that you're always guided, loved, supported, and protected, you will start to see miracles, synchronicities. Your life will be more like a dream. Your dream. The dream in which you want to experience. So I just wanted to shed some light on the ego and how I feel about it and how it keeps so many of us trapped. Once you journey within, you will see so many benefits. You will become so much more aware, so much more in tune with yourself. You'll start to feel thoughts, and you'll start to realize and catch yourself judging things. And you'll start to realize that this whole time you've been ego-driven, ego-run, ego-trapped. And the goal is to put your ego in the backseat, because it's a part of you. To love it, to nurture it. Say it's okay. Hug it. It's okay. They're not trying to hurt us. Trust more. Trust more. Believe. And be nicer to yourself. Be nice to the fact that you are on this journey, and it's scary sometimes, and you don't know what's real, you don't know what to believe, but if there's ever doubt, just simply go sit down quietly, have a conversation with yourself, breathe, and everything will be fine. I hope this information was informative. I hope you dive into yourself when you feel called. And as always, I love you all. I'm sending you with well wishes, with love and light. And if you like what you see, please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell notification for updates and when I post a new video. And if you haven't already, please follow me on Instagram at the frequency you need. I love you all.